Donald Trump is an evolution of what the Tea Party fought for. We wanted, and we still want, more personal freedom, more economic freedom, and a debt-free future. We realize the way that's going to happen is for someone to fight the establishment in Washington, D.C. And Donald Trump is a person who's willing to do that. He's a kind of an evolution of the anger that so many of us had towards Washington, D.C. as they were bailing out all these massive companies who could no longer take care of themselves. When we started, we were on defense. Now we're on offense. And I think that's the biggest change to the Tea Party itself from having President Trump in the White House. Yes, we are. I just have to figure out where I'm going to be. But I'll get in a quiet place for the interview. I am Jenny Beth Martin, and I am the honorary chair of Tea Party Patriots Action.
Since 2009, Jenny Beth Martin has led a grassroots campaign to elect lawmakers who support the Tea Party's agenda.
The life that I'm living right now is not at all what I expected. I work a lot. I work anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day. Hey, Andrea, thanks so much for having me. I had radio interviews, conference calls, going to 2 more meetings, showing our documentary in a panel, and then getting on a red eye to get back to Washington, D.C. for meetings on Capitol Hill and at the White House tomorrow. So it's crazy. I guess I could change it, but that would mean doing something different with my life. And I like where I'm at. It is exhausting. I will admit, it's exhausting.
In 2016, Tea Party Patriots made more than 1 million phone calls to voters in Pennsylvania in favor of Donald Trump. But Martin wasn't always a fan of the president.
Donald Trump loves himself first, last, and everywhere in between. He doesn't love you or me. He doesn't love the Tea Party. Donald Trump has no business thinking he's Tea Party. During the primary process in 2016, the Republican voters spoke. They picked Donald Trump. It was not the first choice of our super PAC, but frankly, we had 2 choices for our country. One that was going to continue us on the path we had been on for the previous 8 years, or one that would take us into potentially a new path. And we looked at the 2 choices and understood that he was the one who we wanted to be president. And by the time that October rolled around, we were all in for him. I'm glad that we endorsed him. I'm glad we did not back off of the endorsement once we made it. As I look at what has happened, because he is president, we have a better justice on the Supreme Court. We have regulations that have been rolled back. We have a president who wants to secure the border and is working to do that. I'm proud of the work that he's done. I want us to continue on this path. If Democrats win the House, they're going to work to impeach President Trump, and that is going to be a problem. I think that the people who support him are going to be even more emotional and passionate, not less so, because they will see these attacks happen.
Martin sees parallels between the emotion that first propelled the Tea Party and the passion on the left today, but she worries Trump's critics could go too far.
Having been involved in a movement with a lot of anger and a lot of passion, I understand that emotion. What I'm concerned about on the left is that they just continue to feed that anger. It's just constant. Sometimes the only thing that you can do when you're frustrated with government, the most effective thing that you can do is just to express your anger and your grievances. But you can't only protest. You have to be able to take that anger and turn it into productive action in addition to just raw anger. I think one of the things that we saw that really changed a lot of the activism, at least on the center-right, we're not only focused on elections, we keep holding people accountable after they're elected, whether it's the federal all the way down to local school boards, accountable on a day-to-day, week-to-week, year-to-year basis.
Martin feels the Tea Party movement has a president in office who hears them.
I think that the Tea Party activists, we definitely are more involved in D.C. and maybe considered more of insiders than outsiders, but we still are thought of, I think, as outsiders by most of the people in Washington, D.C. When you haven't been in D.C. throughout your whole career or a lot of your career and you're trying to shake things up, they're going to think of you as an outsider, whether you've been involved for 10 years or 2 months.
Now, with that said, I think that President Trump speaks to the outsiders much more than he speaks to people in Washington, D.C.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.